many women are not getting opportunities. It's a little bit different in EXP because we have a lot of women leaders like yourself, but so many places we don't see highly qualified women getting leadership opportunities. But at the same time, those who are getting the opportunity, sometimes they may find themselves the only women at the table or in the field. Very challenging. And I'm sure you have experienced this. And I want to know what helped you to lead in this kind of challenging environment?
You know, I'm not sure what led me to it other than, my mom pushing me to do commercial real estate. And back then she definitely was one of the only women at the table. When I first got into commercial real estate, it definitely was a gentleman's club. And luckily I found the right mentor. Like I said, Lisa, she was a wonderful mentor who had been in the industry a long time. And she taught me who the big players were, how to put myself in front of them. And, just don't take no for an answer, right? So there have been many times where I found that they may not want to trust you in the beginning as a woman. And I hate to say that, but what you have to do is just prove yourself, right? You have to show them your capabilities, your ability to get a deal done. And I've always had that in the back of my mind, especially on the construction side. I'll tell you a story. I own a construction company called Builder Brit here in Tampa. I have a great team that runs the day-to-day of it. But, of course, I own the company. I pay the bills. And one of our electricians, who we had been using for a long time, one day out of the blue goes, "Wow, it's so nice. I've been meaning to tell you that your dad named the company after you." My dad is a CPA. My dad's never picked up a hammer in his life. So he has nothing to do with my construction company. I go, "No, actually, I named the company after me." And there's a whole story behind that. But what I want to do is break barriers in this industry and show that women can do it all. There's been many times on construction sites where men don't believe I'm the decision maker, don't believe I have the knowledge. They'll look at my male counterparts. And luckily my team is very pro women in construction. And they go, no, talk to her. She's the decision maker. I've had the same thing happen when I worked at the development site. A lot of people did not understand that I was vice president. I was in charge of the day-to-day decisions. And a lot of times they were looking around saying, "Where's the boss?" Well, I'm right here. And, you just have to keep pushing. But what I found is when you show that you know what you're doing, then that's when the respect comes. And, without regard to gender, right? But it does make it a little bit harder as a woman. You have to prove yourself. And luckily, when they see it, sometimes they get it.
By the way, myself as a minority, I sometimes find myself, I'm the only immigrant, the only Black in the room. It's very challenging. And I like what you said. As far as you have done your homework, as far as you are competent in that field, in that profession, you have to have that assertiveness. I like the way you are handling it, because to be in the place where you are, if you're not assertive, it's very hard, because people may push you around and you may become a pushover. Do you have any tips that you want to share with people who may find themselves the only one at the table and struggling to assert?
Definitely, if you're struggling, find people in the situation that you think you can learn from, whether that's in your company or else. Social media is huge these days. There's been many women in the construction industry that I reach out to and are now friends with on Instagram that are across the country. And I'm like, I'll ask them questions like, "Hey, have you dealt with this?" So even if you can't find a mentor locally, I think social media is the greatest tool that, I wish I could have had it and utilized it early in my career, but it's really changed the industry. And so aside from social media, definitely, if you're scared, okay, but do it anyways. Someone told me that a long time ago, and I have to remind myself sometimes I still get nervous. I still get scared, or, want to avoid doing something. Okay, well, do it anyways. And if you fail and try again with someone else. So if you're cold calling and someone's not taking you seriously, and okay, maybe it's not a deal for you right now, mark in your calendar to follow up with them in 4 months. maybe they will understand and remember that you are persistent, you know what's going on in the market, and you might be the best agent to list that property because you've shown perseverance, right? So definitely it's okay to be scared, but go do it anyways.
Yeah, I love it. Go and do it. I remember myself, my challenge was I had a thick accent when I came to the United States. Sometimes I'm the only one at the table who is immigrant. And one of the fears that I had was if I speak, people may not understand me. And I was afraid of the consequence of opening my mouth. If I open my mouth, if they don't understand me, what if they laugh at me? What if they think I'm not well schooled? It was very, very hard. And you're right. I start to challenge myself when I go to a networking or when I go to a meeting. I challenge myself. Okay, you're afraid of this. You don't feel comfortable about your accent because people may not understand you, and therefore you have to push yourself. And I remember sitting at the front asking questions while I'm trembling and fearful and stumbling in my accent. I was speaking. If I was not making that kind of decisions, persistence that you mentioned, I wouldn't be able to improve my accent because I still have accent. I'm not
But
a native speaker in English, but people could be able to understand me better now because I was courageous to speak while I had a very thick accent. People outside of my community might not be able to understand.
and I love it because we've met in person. EXP is a virtual company. I see you speaking to all of our agents. You are not scared to talk to anyone, Dr. AZ, and you are not scared to start a conversation and get a deal done, which is one of the things I love about you. So very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. One thing that helped me was to use sense of humor. For example, if I'm the speaker, if I'm the one leading a meeting, I bring it up now. In the past, I was afraid of it. I was covering it. But now, actually, I mention it. Hey, as you can tell from my accent, I'm not originally from the United States. And I smile. And now it takes off the pressure right there because I'm actually using it rather than fearing it. I'm actually mentioning it. And I love what you're saying on this one. When it comes to, I want to focus a little bit about persistence, because one of the things I see from some people is that it's something born with. Some people are just persistent. I'm not. Do you think this is born, or is this something that we develop? And if we are the one developing this persistence, how did you develop it? And also, do you have any tips on how to develop persistence, resilience, especially in professions that are very challenging?
I think if you would ask my mom, she would say I was a very stubborn child. And that I probably turned that stubbornness into perseverance. So I think there is a bit that I was born with it. I was always determined, outspoken, but doesn't mean you're not scared, right? Like I used to be terrified of public speaking, and practice makes perfect, right? I remember I got invited to speak on a panel at a conference. I took one of my good friends out to drink who had been speaking on many panels, and I made him just drill me, right? Like, and that's a favor to each other, right? And so you just, whether you're born with it or not, you just have to have the drive to keep moving forward, keep going. And there's so many aspects. I mean, there are times, when I first started at EXP Commercial, I'd had my broker license for many, many years, and I had managed at my last company. I was vice president, but I only managed about 5 people, right? And then, of course, many crews and subcontractors that didn't work for the company directly. But I had never directly managed 100 commercial real estate agents. So even starting at EXP, that was a whole new world for me. I had the brokerage knowledge. I had the experience of doing real estate deals, but I had to learn how to become a player coach and help push our Florida commercial team to be the best that they could be. And I'm learning every day. I've grown my leadership skills from accepting that job, which I had the experience, but not the entire experience, right, of managing that many people. So don't be afraid to take on opportunities that you absolutely may not be, you think are the most qualified. But you know what? EXP saw something in me, and I'm so grateful every day because we've done a really good job of growing the Florida commercial team across Florida. We have 108 commercial agents as of today. And I love my job, and it's just been so much fun. I've learned so much, and there's just, you always keep growing.
Yeah, I like that. I like the theme, which is keep on growing, keep on learning. I see that you're very confident. One of the coaching and also the training that I provide is how to speak in front of a camera and also in front of an audience. One of the challenges many people have is to speak in front of people. It's the scariest thing for many people. What they don't know is what you said, which is if you just keep on speaking while you are stumbling, keep on talking, you could be able to make it one of your comfort zone. You master it. And you're right, for someone to be resilient, to be persistent, is about just going out every day, practice, learn, and evolve every time.
Absolutely.